So I finally got my computer fixed. It took a while, but it's here now. There's a long story behind how I got my computer fixed. So most of you guys probably know by now that there has been something wrong with my computer. A very, very long time ago, my DC power jack got loose. And if you don't know what a DC power jack is, it's pretty much the hole in your laptop that you put your charger into. Well, mine got loose, so at some point I had to like twist my charger around in certain spots for it to charge. But the problem with doing that is because it gets the problem even worse. If I twist it around and push it in hard into my laptop, it got even more loose and more sensible, and at some point I think it even got really pushed up into the laptop. So at some point I couldn't charge at all anymore, no matter where I would put my charger, if it was halfway hanging out, because that was actually a trick that I had, halfway hanging out. So at some point I couldn't even charge my laptop anymore. No matter what position it was in, no matter how hard I pushed it in, I just couldn't charge anymore. So I decided to open it up and try to fix it myself. Now I had another computer, another Asus, so I thought that I have the same DC power jack, which I did. I already tested it, and the other Asus was already broken, so I knew I could just take the power jack from that one and install it into that one. Unfortunately, it wasn't that easy. So I opened up both of my computers, right? Now I already knew how to do this because I watched a bunch of videos. So I opened up both computers, right? And then I'm trying to get my DC power jack, so I finally get to the point where I can remove it. Or actually, I couldn't really remove it. But the problem with both computers, I don't know what the fuck Asus were thinking when they built these computers, but they decided to solder the fucking power jack onto the motherboard. Now if you don't know what the motherboard is, it's pretty much like green, weirdly patterned platform in your computer. It's pretty much the heart of your computer. If you remove the motherboard, then your computer's fucked forever. You might as well just buy a new one to that point. So the first thing that I do, of course, is just look online. What the fuck? Oh, fuck me. So the first thing I thought of doing is obviously look up online how to desolder it. I would have taken it back to its warranty, but unfortunately my warranty just finished like 4 or 5 months ago. Didn't really just finish, but so I had to either fix it myself or send it to a workshop. And I didn't have the tools to desolder it, so I eventually had to send it to a workshop. So I sent it to a workshop, and most workshops actually wouldn't desolder shit off of a motherboard. The simple job that I wanted to do to swap the DC jack that got loose actually got very complicated, and most technicians wouldn't even want to touch it. Apparently it was just too risky because it was attached to the motherboard and it could fuck everything up, and then they don't want to be blamed for destroying my computer or anything. So I went back home, did a couple calls to other technicians until I found one. I found one person that would actually desolder my DC jack and solder the other one onto my motherboard. But one thing that was really sketchy about these technicians, they had some really bad ratings on Google. But among these bad ratings, there was also good ratings, so I wasn't really sure what to believe in anymore, so I still went and gave my computer. The next day they called, it's soldered on, and everything's beautiful. What the fuck? I bring it home and I'm ready to put it all in together again, until I found out that one thing was missing. That technician company forgot one thing. They forgot to give me my hard drive. And the reason why I had to put it all back in together is because I didn't want them to put it back together themselves. And the reason being is because they charge you on the time. Like, depending on how long it takes to fix your laptop, they're gonna charge you on that. So I already knew how to put it all back in together, so I thought I would just do it myself and save myself a couple bucks. I wasn't even sure how much it was gonna cost in the first place. I only had $100 and I wasn't even sure how much it was gonna cost in the first place. So, you know, I had to make sure that I wasn't gonna go over $100. Now, I wasn't accusing them or anything, but my hard drive was missing, so I called them up and I went down to their store and I asked them, is it possible that you guys have misplaced my hard drive? And they just disacknowledged it. They wouldn't acknowledge that they forgot to give me back my hard drive. So here I was with a charging computer that didn't have a fucking hard drive. This little DC jack problem went from so small to so huge. And the videos I looked online on how to replace a DC jack was really simple, because most of them wasn't soldered onto the motherboard. So all you had to do is just unplug it and then just plug a new one back in. But mine wasn't like that. Mine was soldered onto my fucking motherboard. The worst part being is now that I don't have my hard drive, I don't have my programs, I don't have absolutely anything. But then my brother came to the rescue and he had a couple spare hard drives. Didn't have an operating system on it, so we had to download everything manually. The drivers, the operating system, just absolutely everything was downloaded manually. I'm pretty sure I'm missing some shit right now, but my computer is working, so it's fine. So it ended us taking about, I don't know, 2-3 days just to get that hard drive working on mine. And most of the shit that we tried wasn't even compatible on my computer. I don't know why, but most of the hard drives that we tried weren't even compatible on my computer. And the hard drives that he had were all compatible on his other computers. Yeah, we have like 3-4 laptops that we scavenged for parts. My Asus that I got my power jack from it's pretty much just a screen to this point. It's got nothing in it anymore. It's just it's fucked. Now one of the worst parts is that everything was working, but I didn't have my programs anymore. I don't have my thumbnails, I don't have my banners, I don't have my video settings and shit like that, so I had to completely re-download everything, and I'm probably gonna have to redo everything, but fuck, I got time, so I got nothing but time. But yeah, this loose power jack made my life much worse than it could have ever been. Like, this little tiny problem turned out to be a huge, massive problem. And I just left a bad rating on Google for that technician store. I'm not saying they stole it or anything, because they actually really look like good folks. They probably just misplaced it, and now they want to acknowledge that they lost it, or don't even know that they lost it in the first place. I am 110% sure that they had my hard drive. Whoever the fuck stumbles on my base is gonna get an incredible amount of gold. My storages are full, and my mines are also almost full. To be honest, with the 1 gem boost, loot has been so fucking easy, you barely even have to play anymore. Well, it looks like I'll have to be online for 4 hours and 39 fucking minutes so I can finally spend some gold. I just really hope that I won't get another personal break.